YTBC, what's the deal? So I've been following what's going on with the Miguel Cotto WBC situation. When you look at everything, you look at all, the he said, she said, you look at the WBC's letter they came out with, their statement of why they stripped him of the title. They said something about he missed the weight for the 7-day weigh-in. And then it was something about him not wanting to pay a sanctioning fee of $300,000. A lot of fans think that's steep. There's some fans that think, hey, he's getting, X amount for the fight was $300,000. There are some fans say, hey, it's easy for you to say $300,000 is still $300,000, so on and so forth. What I will say is this. On the outside looking in, it looks like that these sanctioning fees are very high. You know what I mean? 100,000, 300,000, 200,000 for sanctioning fees. It just seems very fucking high. I've heard the WBC make an exception with their sanctioning fees, and they will lower them sometimes. They have done it with guys like Oscar De La Hoya, Mayweather, and Pacquiao. Cotto said he will still pay six figures, but he didn't want to pay $300,000. So I don't know if that means he'll pay $250,000. I don't know if that means he'll pay $290,000, or if he means $100,000. I don't know what that means. So we can go back and forth with the business and the money, and some people think that Cotto's full of shit because he was okay with paying sanction fees and okay with holding the title when he fought Gil, and when he defended the title against Gil, he didn't have a problem with it. So my thing is this, man. Even with all that said, to me, just as a boxing fan, and I know some of you already know how some of you are going to take this. To me, it's like this, man. The dude just does not want to fight Gennady Golovkin. I just don't think he wants to fight him. Now, before I get to all of that, it's not because I think Gennady Golovkin is better than Carlos Monzon and Bernard Hopkins and all the great middleweights. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't think Cotto wants to fight Golovkin. Whenever it's come to Golovkin, it's always something. Whether it's him paying Golovkin $800,000 for step aside money so he can have his, big money fight against Canelo. He paid $800,000 so he wouldn't have to defend it against the WBC. The guy's supposed to get the title shot. He didn't defend it, so we gave him that. Now he's saying he doesn't want to give $300,000, to pay the sanctioning fee to keep the title. So if he does win, we already know the WBC said that the winner of this fight has to fight Triple G, period. And they were saying the fight going to have to be at 160. You've heard Cotto in the past say that he's not going to let the WBC force him to do anything. When fighters start using words like, you're not going to, force me or make me do something. And it's not like we're asking him to go up and fight Vladimir Klitschko. We're asking him to fight the guy that has the number one, the guy that has the number one spot at the title. That's all we're asking him. We're not asking him to go out of his comfort zone to fight some guy. I mean, it's a guy that's in your fucking division. That's the guy that next in line for the title shot. When you start hearing fighters say, well, you're not going to force me to do that, or you're not going to make me do that. It's like, what else more do you want them to show you that they don't want to fight the guy? That's how I'm looking at it. And it's not because I think I'm not gonna downgrade Triple G right now, but I'm not giving him all these massive props. Like, yeah, he just doesn't want to fight the dude, man. That's just my opinion. Like, this is going to be one of the newer excuses now. We always hear fighters say titles don't mean nothing. And I'll always say, well, shit, as a fighter, you have to make it mean something, man. Of course, if guys win a title, get stripped, or they just let it go after the first or second defense, well, of course, that title isn't going to mean nothing. You got to get it and fucking defend it 6, 7, 8 times for it to mean something. You know what I'm saying? The WBC did say, if Canelo wins the fight, he will be granted the champion. But then it's like, well, what are Canelo's plans? Because I've heard Oscar De La Hoya, he's all over the place with this. If Canelo beats Cotto, I heard him say that, yeah, for sure, that'll be the next fight. We want Triple G and Cotto. Then I heard him say down the road, if he wins the fight. It's like, come on, man. Like, you guys, if anything, the fighters at the division is making him more out of a boogeyman than the fans are. I believe the fighters at 160 make Cotto out to be more of a boogeyman than the fans. Because every time I hear the guy at 160, I ain't gonna say every guy at 160, but majority of the guys at 160 always keep talking about down the road. You know, now I've heard guys like Laura call him out, who's at 154. You know, so I'm not gonna say every single fighter, but I'm just saying guys that are at 160 campaigning in the thick of things and title shots and all this. I hear a lot of guys say down the road. Andy Lee is a guy that I heard say he wants to fight him right away. You know, if he beats Saunders, he said he wants to test his skills against Golovkin and try to unify and become undisputed. You know, so I don't know. This is just another fighter, you know, that's making Golovkin seem even more larger than life by pretty much just getting out of fighting this guy if he wins. So this is going to be the new one. You know, I don't want to pay the sanctioning fees. That's going to be the new, I believe, the new excuse that younger fighters are going to learn from the older fighters, the older great fighters of this generation. And Cotto is one of those. You know, despite what he's doing right now, you know, over his overall career, he is one of the greats of this generation, in my opinion. You know, so. But this is something that guys are going to learn and they're going to use. Oh, I don't want to pay the sanctioning fees like how Cotto said, you know, so fuck the sanctioning fees. Although I do think the fees are high. But again, these boxers know what it is when they get into boxing, man. You know, make the best deals you can, get the most money you can and all that. But the sanction fees come along with trying to be unified and undisputed, you know. So now what? So now nobody's going to try to be undisputed and unified because they don't want to pay the sanctioning fee. Is that going to be the new one now? So now we're never going to see a guy be undisputed because the sanctioning fees. To me, that's just another excuse to, you know, it's just like, damn, man, boxing can be so, it's just, oh man, I just have a feeling this is going to be the new one now. Nobody wants to be undisputed or unified because they don't want to pay the sanctioning fees. I'm not surprised by this at all, man. So it's still going to be a good fight. You know, like I heard Cotto, you know, say on Boxing Scene, this fight sells itself, you know, but if it sold itself, Cotto, like, why didn't you just beat Martinez that night? You know, got credit for, you know, winning the middleweight title, beating the lineal champion, and just leave it and just let it go. Because now I don't, you know, we're getting 4 days from the fight, you know, and now all of a sudden belts don't mean anything. It's like, here we go. You know, here we go with the belts don't mean shit theory again. So I guess they don't mean something when it's convenient, right? Belts don't mean shit when it's convenient for the fighter. YTBC, I'm out.